Let's cross over to former US Army Green Beret and Afghan war veteran, Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann, who joins me now. You've been in the US Army, you've been to Afghanistan many times. A sad day, as there have been US casualties, potentially unconfirmed reports of US casualties in this attack.
Yeah, the attack was horrific, and our thoughts and prayers go out to our Afghan families and any families of our warriors and diplomats who may have been injured or killed doing this amazing mission. And here's what I want to say is whatever political leaders are saying about most of our partners got out, that is an absolute falsehood. I'm part of an informal group known as Task Force Pineapple, retired Green Berets, Navy SEALs, and diplomats who for the last 7 days with no sleep have been doing in a private organization what our government wouldn't do. And I have firsthand information that there are thousands of SIV holders, of other people who we made a commitment to get out, military partners in the special operations community of the Afghans that have not made it out. And our task force moved out 500 last night through holes in the wall and sewage-filled canals, talking them through on our cell phones with messages like this. I have one adult, 6 kids at Abbey Gate with no comms. The 6-year-old died. If anyone can help them get out, it would be huge. And then we coordinate with these heroes on the inside who basically defied orders, wade into the canal and pull them through. This went on all night long. It's been going on for 5 days, and we're nowhere near where we need to be. We need our governments to push out, to reinforce, and let's honor our commitment, and let's get our American citizens, our British citizens, and these at-risk Afghans out of there, or I think it's going to haunt us with these kinds of attacks on the home front for a very long time.
You clearly feel and sound let down by President Biden's decision-making and approach to this effort. You've been an advisor to the US Army on Afghanistan. What do you think they should be doing now?
Well, for one thing, we should not be letting the Taliban call the tune on how we evacuate our citizens as NATO. That's patently ridiculous. We should push out the perimeter. I believe, citizens in the UK and the US should be calling their parliamentarians, their congressmen, and demanding that we stand up and perform the way we're supposed to perform, the way the world expects us to perform. This is genocide played out in real time on the 24-hour news cycle. Everyone is seeing it, and it's a fraction of what's coming. It's a fraction, and we have an opportunity now to shift momentum and do the right thing. And right now, I'm telling you, there are informal groups who are actively working to get our people out of there and our Afghan partners. We're doing it with cell phones and relationships, and we're not done. Even if the gates close, we're going to move them over land. We're not done, and I hope that the Western world will not turn its eye on Afghanistan again, because we just can't do that from a moral level.
This sounds like it might not be, according to all the analysts we've been speaking to since this attack, it might not be the only one that's to come over the next few days. Things could get worse. Do you believe the troops should stay longer beyond the August 31st deadline?
I've always held that belief. I'm a Green Beret, and our specialty is training indigenous people and host nation partners. And, everybody, there's this narrative going around that the Afghans didn't fight. The Afghan commandos fought until the last bullet, and they were abandoned by their president, their senior officers who were bribed, and our political administrations in the West, particularly mine. And it pains me to say that, but at this point, with what we're having to do to cover down, to do the right thing and ensure no one's left behind, I don't care, because that's what happened. And we have the capacity to stay and build capacity with the Afghan people. It doesn't have to be a huge footprint, and we can continue to target these cells. We got hit on 9/11 because we had no network on the ground. We've had 20 years there to build this network, and we're using it right now to evacuate 500 people last night, and we're getting ready to walk away from it again. How do you think that's going to play out in the West when we do that?
Surely President Biden can't do a U-turn now and change his mind and stay.
Why not? I mean, we're there we have the horsepower to at least push out the perimeter and establish a presence that would allow us in an organized fashion to open these gates and withdraw at least our Afghan partners and allies who are at extreme risk. I think the cost of not doing that on a moral level will haunt us for the rest of our days. The graveyard of empires will follow us home.